Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Marine X back at it again. Okay, holiday shopping has started. Ladies have already started their shopping. Fellas, I'm warning you now. Go ahead, send this list out. I'm going to do several lists, $50 and below, between 50 and 100. And then we'll probably do 500 and below and maybe 1,000 and below. Just a holiday gift guide. This is the first one, and I think the sweet spot, ladies, for things that we actually want. This is shit that we actually want. First thing is going to be some new when it comes to knives. So if your guy's a knife collector, I'm going to show you some knives that are relatively new, so it's a lower likelihood he already owns them, such as the Civivi Headbanger. This just dropped about a week and a half ago. So for this is a Nitro V blade steel, fellas. You have a very dope design. I love this compound grind on this bad boy. And Nitro V is just a blade steel that has been impressing me over the years. The first time I got my hands on a Nitro V blade, I can't remember. It was a Civivi blade. I just don't remember exactly which model, but it does perform really well. I love the logo. I think it looks really good. You see the actual shape of the blade. You get a dark green micarta on this, which looks very good. A reversible pocket clip. That's where you would take that out and swap this over if you wanted to reverse the pocket clip. It has full liners. It has a standoff way in the back. It does have a liner lock, and the liner lock is very well done. Look at that. It's less than 50% of the blade, so it's less likely that it's going to be hard to redeploy. This thing is just a very nice knife to fidget with. I haven't missed with this thing very much. The thumb studs are really good. It has some jimping on the spine right here that makes it a lot easier to get up on the blade. They really thought about the design metrics when it comes with this. And they really have been putting in work when it comes to just establishing relationships with different brands over at Blade HQ. And this is one of them I think that they did a very good job on. So this one specifically is inspired by heavy metal to its core. That's kind of where they got the headbanger design. You can get it in G10 if you don't like the micarta. Either one I think works. And the thing is that although it's micarta, they still give you a titanium pocket clip that gives you like a touch of feeling like you're getting a little bit of premium. And it's 89 bucks MSRP, and oftentimes you can find it any cheaper than that. Listen, the links down below are probably all affiliate links to help the channel out. And also I can try to get you the best pricing with those. If I get any additional discounts, I'll leave those down below as well, because that could help you out. All right, so let's talk about some knives for the times when he goes out with you and there's places that's not very appropriate to have a locking knife or a big old honking knife. So we're going to talk about some slip joints. Maybe you're in a state where it's not legal to have a locking knife. So we're going to talk first about, this is the Kaiser. This is the Azo Trestle. And I love the way this blade looks with this Damascus steel. The blade design on there is very dope. And you have a wood with a titanium for the handle or the scale materials. And because it is a slip joint, you don't necessarily need a pocket clip. You can kind of just either get a clip slip and just slip it right in your pocket, or it's easy to kind of deploy. Good nail nick so you can get it out. Fantastic walk and talk. I don't even know. Can you hear? Really good walk and talk for a knife that's sub $100. MSRP is $105. I literally have been tracking this since it came out about 2 weeks ago. It seems to be living at $89.90. So I'm safe to just present this to you as an option, especially with these high-end features for not a very high-end price. And I love just how unintimidating this knife is. And it has a beautiful, just that steel, just such a beautiful, let me even closer. Beautiful design on the actual blade steel there. I think it looks really good, and it's going to be something that you enjoy. Now, of course, Kaiser's doing their thing, but so is CJRB. And if you don't want to spend that $90 price point, but you still want a nice slip joint, you can still get a nice mixture of wood, but this time it's going to be brass bolsters for the actual scales themselves. This is the CJRB cutlery. This is the Pyrite buoy, the slip joint. Pyrite, the Pyrite Light, the Pyrite All. Any Pyrite has been super popular with CJRB. They know they have a hit on their hands, and they're just going for it. That buoy blade shape, very aggressive, fuller, almost damn near a fuller, kind of like a nail nick fuller mix. But this blade shape makes it so it's really good for like utility cuts. So if you need to hold the blade like this and cut into a piece of cardboard or cut onto a surface, it does good with that. Walk and talk, I think, is a little bit better on that Kaiser, but maybe you like that sound. It's going to be up to you, but I think it looks beautiful with the ebony wood mixed with the brass. Looks really good. This one includes a pocket clip, and the pocket clip can be reversed if you wanted to. Looks fantastic. And this thing comes in about $67. So save yourself a little bit more money. They're both fantastic. I have a lot of different slip joints. Most of my slip joints are north of 150 and 200 bucks. These are probably my favorite without going super duper budget. So that's pretty dope. Now listen, let's say you got a fella, you know, he hunts a lot. He brings a fixed blade knife with him a lot. I think that this is a very good budget kind of blade that you can get personally, that you can take with you hunting. Leave this outdoors on accident. It won't be that big of a deal. This is the CJRB Tundra, the liner lock version. This is a huge 3.8-inch blade on this bad boy. And the thing is, they have this little screw right here. You can actually put this in here and make it almost impossible. I'm not going to say completely impossible, but make it very improbable that the knife itself can be closed. So if you wanted to use this for logging, for splitting wood, they almost make it as strong as a fixed blade. Of course, a full tang fixed blade is going to be much stronger than this, but they're giving you that option. And conversely, you can use this same little thing screwed in back here, and it will keep the knife from accidentally opening up. So I think that's pretty dope. A mechanism from keeping your kids from opening the knife by mistake. And then you can kind of use this as a lanyard. It's a kind of a keep to keep you from losing the actual little screw itself. Pretty dope. Does have full liners in this bad boy. Big old wonking, just a huge chunky knife. If you're just looking for a knife, I have pretty decent sized hands. And even for me, there's still some scales left on both sides. And I love that this thing is coming in south of 100 bucks at about $94. This is a great companion knife to bring with you with your gut knife or your set that you're going to be used for a processing a kill, or take it for a camping knife or whatever. So a couple of unique lookers that sometimes fellas are looking for part of their collection is, normally we're trying to find different knives that kind of make us feel good inside. And this gauntlet button lock from Daily Carry Co. brings a hawkbill into your fella's life. Maybe he doesn't already own a hawkbill. It's a very unique blade shape, very good knife for like pulling towards you if you're burlap or cutting rope or that type of stuff. So it's not really pointed at the end, so you're not going to necessarily use this for stabbing purposes. I think it looks pretty dope. I love the shape of this. I love the fact it's a button lock. A few things I don't like about it: I wish the pocket clip went up a little bit higher right here. Kind of just made it a little bit more true into your pocket. This does poke out, hang out your pocket a little bit. But I kind of forgive that a little bit because I'm getting a D2 blade steel that sounds really, really good. A button lock, and it is 59 bucks. So listen to this. Like, it just has a cling, a ting to it that I can't, like, I get a lot of knives that are around $60, but none of them really give me too much of the feels when it comes to D2, which is completely respectable. I love the bright, vibrant color of this bad boy, and it's a very affordable, reasonable price. I think I can get you this for even cheaper. So check the links down below. See if I can get you an additional 10% off of this bad boy. Hey, listen, if you're getting good content out of this video, hit that like button. It's going to help push it into the algorithm, get more folks to the gift guide, goodness, and all of that good stuff. Daily Carry Co. still coming through with some bangers. Now, there's a lot of fixed blades that hit the market. I think 2025 is the year of the fixed blade. Kaiser had a lot. K-Bar introduced a ton, even the higher end brands. I liked this Garuda, I think they call it, fixed blade knife from Daily Carry Co. because this gets you a drop point with a gut hook inside of that. And ladies, gut hooks are good for fellas for a lot of reasons. We can pierce a kill with this. Then we can use the gut hook to safely remove fur or remove intestines and not contaminate the rest of the meat. We can also use it to grab like a hot pot at a campsite. Grab the hot pot off a fire, cut rope, cut seat belts. Gut hooks are useful. So if you know a fella, got a fella, he doesn't have a fixed blade with a gut hook, this is a good opportunity to get him one with a 14C 28N blade steel. And it's 99 bucks. And it comes with the sheath. It's full tang. It comes with a little hook in the back so you can break your finger if you use it improperly. But I think it's just pretty dope. And the fact is that this is one of the sheaths where you push the button and it gives you quick access to put this thing over your belt or your molly webbing instead of having to loop it through all the way. You can adjust this. So right now it's set up to be carried this way. But if you want to, you can turn this and you can actually carry it sideways. So a lot of different things going on. I like this a lot. Or you can, of course, change this out and put an Alti clip or a DCC clip or whatever you want to on this bad boy. And I got to kind of toot my own horn when we're talking about stuff that the fellas may want. The EDC tray version 2 is going to be dropping very, very soon. Made from laminated walnuts in a design that I made myself here in my man cave. Insert tiers in an area where I normally keep my wallet. Big open area if you want to put your watches, your wallets, your keys, your gun, whatever. I like the way this looks. I have some rubber on the bottom to keep it from moving around a lot. Very, very suitable. And, you know, each of these takes me a good chunk of time to make. With the engraving and all that good stuff. I think your fellas will like it. I keep one of these on my nightstand. There's even a little cutout at the very top right here if you want to put a charging cable through. So check these bad boys out and grab these things. Drop 2 is going to be coming. Drop 1 was crazy successful. So I'm only going to have a limited run for Drop 2. So keep your eye out for that. And make sure that you grab yourself one of these as well. And because you're watching this video, use the code MarineX10 and I'll get you 10% off my own trays. So shout out to your boy. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Now, there's very few pins that I have introduced to my lineup this year. This is one that reminded me of that Tactical Bear Company, but with a lot more subtle features. This is the Next Torch MP11 titanium pin. So it's grade 5 titanium, very good pocket clip, fidget at the top. I know that doesn't really matter, but like that's pretty dope. So right here, you can use this for a glass breaker on this side. And it is using a pressurized Schmidt pen. It's meaning that you can write at any angle. You can write upside down. You can write on someone's back. You can write in midair while you're walking down the street. So very, very well done. Thing comes in about $85. I think it's reasonably priced. And especially you can get common refills if you don't want to keep that Schmidt inside. That's one where I was able to put down my tactile turns in my wingbacks and pick that up for a while and actually use it with no issues. A new drop from Nicor. This is the Nicor EDC 17, a 1500 lumen rechargeable flat flashlight with a white LED, a UV, and a green laser. This has great ergonomics, very easy to use. You push it forward and you can cycle through the different levels by just simply pushing this actual slider at the top. And the slider, the flashlight will remember whatever the last mode you had. So let's change to, that's a green laser, and we can switch it to a UV light, and we turn the flashlight off. When I switch it back on, it knows the last setting was UV. And then it has different settings for the UV light as well. No matter which mode you're in, so let's switch over to the light. If I hold down, I can activate the laser, which I like. If I have one of these flashlights, I want to be able to use the flashlight and the laser at the same time, because if I'm illuminating something for my dodo head kids and I'm like, hey, look in that closet, and they're like, I can't see it. I can't see it, Dad. I can just push the laser and say, no, it's right there. I do that all the time. So I got this going on. I'm telling them, oh, it's right there. I use the laser and it just helps them find it that much easier. Very well made. Only issue I have with this is the button is a little bit clicky. I don't know if it's my specific model. The button sometimes it hasn't stuck. It just feels too clicky. I don't know if I'm describing that very well, but I am not a fan. Once again, it does have a non-removable battery, but all these flat flashlights don't have removable batteries because, you know, they're this is just how they're made. It doesn't matter if it's Olight or Next Torch or, you know, Nicor, Rovivon, they're all kind of built the same way. I just think about that for battery life. Other than that, I'm a big fan of this so far. I love just how easy this thing is to use. I like the way it looks. It comes out, you're carrying this weak side, you do have to rotate it before you can begin to use it. First world problem, but, you know, just something to identify as well. I don't want to put too many wallets on the list, but this is one wallet that makes the cuts. This is the M4 Maverick. This is the M4 Rail wallet. Now, this thing is dope because it includes a side where you can slide your cards out here. You can buy this pocket clip. I think that costs a little bit extra, but that's where you would actually keep dollars at if you wanted to. And then On the other side is where you will put important items like your driver's license. That's where I normally keep this or whatever. It's very slick, very, very minimal. And I like this because you can buy their accessories and actually kind of carry this around your neck if you needed to. They have like little lanyard holders you can buy. I think it looks pretty dope. Every time I pull this out, even the 7-Eleven or whatever, I get a compliment at least once a week with this bad boy whenever it's in my pocket. $99 is a very good deal for this, and it's customizable. You get tired of these little accents right here, you can change those out with stuff from their website, and it's made in the USA. I think that's pretty dope to have a well-rounded wallet. So if you want your man to get rid of that big bulky wallet that he carries or have a compliment for that, I think that's dope. Think about getting him the pocket clip. That does bump it over $100, but without the pocket clip, I think it's very, very usable. Now, charging cables. Listen, ladies, I'm not gonna lie to you. We like to feel like the superhero that can charge your shit. We do, okay? This is the M-Fish 4-in-1 charging cable that can do 240 watts. I guarantee there's a low likelihood your man has a cable that can do 240 watts of power. That's going to be able to fast charge your bigger devices like small solar power stations that can receive DC input. You're going to be able to charge basically every computer, to include gaming computers that can charge via USB Type-C. This cable is 6 feet long. It's extremely well made, and it's 4-in-1 cable because you got Lightning for those that still have iPhone 14s or older. You have USB-C right behind that. You have USB-A, and then you have USB-C right behind that. So you have different ways to charge. So you got the different charging mechanisms. Very well made for a cord that is very, very affordable. I wanted to show you this because technically this is $15. Okay, so it's below my $50 mark, but I think it's a good companion item for this. This is the EcoFlow. This is their 25,000 milliamp hour battery bank with a 100-watt built-in cable, meaning this cable right here is built in. You can use it, but this cable is only 3 feet long, and that cable one day could break. This is also another built-in cable on the unit right here, which you can use for charging purposes, but it has ports on the side so that you can use, boom, this bad boy. This bad boy can output up to 170 watts. This cable can easily handle in different combinations. It can take an input up to 100 watts, but it's just nice to be able to use this and then maybe keep this in your bag, right? And then take this cable out because it's 6 feet and use this to charge your devices or whatever. Very easy to read screen on this bad boy. Tells you the different settings, what's going on with the device. A lot of these companies are making this these type of 25,000 milliamp hour batteries. It does have a USB-A output, USB-C output. This thing's good for both of those. And it does come in below $100. And it's EcoFlow, so you're going to get a good warranty with that. I think you get 3 years if you buy this on Amazon, 5 years if you buy it on their website. I'll link up both down below so you can make a decision which one works out best for you. Next, we got to talk about the shirt that I'm wearing. This is an Expedition men's long sleeve shirt. We're getting into fall, into the winter. This has been my favorite shirt. I was wearing these shirts even when it was the summertime because it breathes really, really well. I like the material that it's made out of. It comes from small up to 2X. I'm wearing a large here, but it is just the type of shirt. It has zippers for us. So right here, you got a little zipper just in case you want to put something in there. We also have a zipper on our sleeve, right? Which a lot of times, if I'm going on a walk or on a ruck, I will put my ID in this pocket so that if I run up on somebody, I can have my ID and I don't have to worry about it being in another pocket. When I sweat on the back of this thing, it seems to be like moisture wicking and wick the sweat away from me and allows for the sweat to dry off my back. I wore this shirt today on a ruck. I went on about a 3-mile ruck. Fantastic for that type of stuff. Great lightweight material. And MSRP's for $60. I can get you 10% off of this bad boy, so check that out below. But I think if you get him a few of these shirts, I think he would be a big fan of it in different colors. I think they transition well from work shirts. Like I can wear these in a work meeting and also wear these for just stuff around the house. Like I got to do Christmas lights soon. I'll be wearing one of these. Fantastic. Now we got to talk about the Anchor Power Station. This is their 60,000 milliamp hour power station. And the thing I like about this bad boy is that $100 and it does kind of get the job done for whatever you need. So this thing now, I do have some gripes, moans, and complaints about this because it only charges at like 60 watts, I believe, but the price is right. It does have this built-in lanyard, and for all the ones from reputable companies on the market right now, this is the cheapest, getting you 192 watt hours for something this compact. You get two USB-C ports, two USB-A ports. You get a solar input, SOS mode. This is an obsolete power bank by Anchor. They've replaced this with their Solix lineup. It does have a little emergency strip, so when you're camping, you can kind of see it glowing in the dark. Listen, this thing I keep underneath the seat of my truck. Okay, so in my truck, I just slide this thing there. It just sits there. It always says 100%. Is it truly at 100% right now? I don't know. I guess I could plug my phone up and see. I haven't charged this thing. You probably should charge these things like monthly. I haven't charged this thing in probably like 3 months. But what I like about it is that they do have cases you can buy on Amazon and stuff like that. But this is just kind of one of those devices. You can kind of set it and forget it, use it whenever you need it. So right now it's outputting at 19 watts. So that kind of gets the job done. This thing can eventually take a fast charge and kind of go from whenever I need it. So big fan of this thing. Very simple to use, very easy to use, and all of that good stuff. Now I got to talk about some actual the mini field journal by Lockbee. Now last year, this exact same gift guide, I talked about the field journal by Lockbee, and this didn't exist yet. They'd had the pocket journal, which is a zipper, and I didn't really want to mention that because the zipper really wasn't my jam. I didn't like the zipper, but the latch is exactly what I like. The latch is exactly how its big brother is. It's in multicam black. They make it in multiple colors, obviously. Wax canvas. This is just great for me to physically write every single day. I use this for taking notes for work or writing YouTube ideas or whatever. And it can hold up to two. I think it can do more than two notebooks. I have two in here right now. I think it can do up to 4 of these bad boys. But it's easy to kind of use their built-in dividers, so you can put as many notebooks inside of this as you want to. And it does have some inside areas. I keep a book light in here, a pencil, a Sharpie. I keep some business cards for Marine X. I keep a little pry bar in here. This is just a very functional EDC item. Even if I'm just going to a coffee shop, sometimes I will grab this, grab my knife, a flashlight, some water, and go to a coffee shop and just kind of chill out and just write down some ideas. So very, very affordable. Comes in about 55 bucks-ish, 56 bucks-ish. I like this thing a lot. And it comes with a notebook, so that's a good thing as well. You don't have to worry about buying that immediately. If you're trying to find your guy a more tactical, bigger, more powerful flashlight with using the 18650 battery, maybe talking foreign to you, but what that means is we have a battery that goes into this bad boy. You can use this it's interchangeable, but it's going to give you more power, more throw, and longer battery life because of the size of it. You got a guy that likes to be out at night a lot. He likes to ruck. He likes to just run at night. It works well if you're holding it in your hand. And this is the type that you could force a lanyard through this pocket clip, but I don't really see the need for it. This is just very easy to use. What I like about it, it has a tactical mode, right? Tactical mode meaning I could just press it and immediately it would turn on, or I could full press and do a strobe. Here's a strobe warning, okay? So that's tactical mode. Then it also has a low, medium, high, and strobe mode. Those are pretty self-explanatory. But what I like about this flashlight is as soon as I switch it to low, the flashlight turns on. So I'm gonna just keep my finger away from the button, switch it to low, medium, high. I don't have to push the button. So that means that I can keep my hands like right here on the bezel. And as I'm walking or running, if I hear something, switch my hand, and just like that, the flashlight's on. I don't have to push the button. When it's in tactical mode, I can press the button and it comes on. Next Torch has done a great job when it comes to just these small little features. They do have different contracts with like police agencies in Europe. That's why these are so well built. I think they should have a bigger footprint here in the United States because they did a good job with this 1600 lumen one-step strobe light with a good tactical mode. This is the Next Torch TA30C, and that's one of the ones I could easily bang out with. Now, let's just talk about a little bit bigger stuff, okay? These are items that just recently came out that are going to be for the tactical bros, but they're also going to be for the well organized. So I'm a big multi-clan black type of guy. And this is not the bag we're talking about. We're talking about the item inside. This is the Fade Blocker. Okay, it's a big ass Faraday sleeve. Fantastic. They make this in a tablet size and a laptop size. So I have here, technically this is a laptop size. It has, of course, Velcro on the back, which lets you stick it to other crap, which is what you just saw me do in this bag. So you can see it has a full loop panel on the front for you to stick more stuff on it. So I have their little admin pouch panel up here. You can put more stuff on the bottom if you wanted to. But the thing I like about this bad boy is it's a big ass Faraday sleeve. So you can put a whole family worth of cell phones inside of here in airplane mode or turn them off. And this will block those waves that can pick up signals of phones in an area. This will block those waves from detecting that you have a phone on you. It's fantastic. Now, this is designed for a computer or a laptop, same concept. If you have a iPad that's a cellular iPad and you turn it off and put it in here, it won't be detectable inside of this. That's super dope. I like this a lot. And if you already need a laptop sleeve anyway, and you already have a bag that's modular, similar to my Brown Buffalo bag here, this is a good solution for that. I think it looks really good. It's on sale right now for like 50 bucks. So, and I think the laptop size is like 59 bucks. This is a laptop size. The tablet size is a little bit smaller, but I think this is great. The pouch size that I showed you guys last year was pretty dope. I'm glad they came out with a bigger one. I'll also link up the admin panel just in case you're curious about that as well, but I think it's pretty dope. So this is a bag, or actually a pouch, that this company dropped the price on recently, and it was a super smart decision. This is the Conceal Waist Pack by Brown Buffalo. Conceal was a little bit deceiving name. I thought this was going to be big enough to carry a gun in. It is not. I should have looked at the specs. I bought this for my own money. And this is a good size, though, for doing stuff like this. You don't want a lot of stuff in your pockets, but you don't want the biggest bag. This is an iPhone 13 Pro Max, okay? Decent sized phone. You can stick it in this bad boy along with your flashlight, your knife, or whatever. And that way you don't have to have it in your pocket. Now, the front pocket is not big enough for an iPhone 13 Pro Max, okay? It's not going to happen. So if you got a smaller phone, maybe that will work. But I do like this for stuff like I'm going somewhere and I want to dump my wallet in the front. Let's say, for instance, we're going somewhere and they're like, hey, you can't have knives or whatever. I want to put my knife inside the pouch. I want to put, a pen inside of here, maybe a little charging bank, maybe the cable you saw earlier. I could stick this in here. So it's a lot of different stuff you can stick in here and then wear this either as a fanny pack or you can wear it as a sling bag. It kind of works out for both. So that's where I like this a lot. And coming in at 85 bucks, this was $105. They dropped the price, which was very smart on you guys because the value at 105, although it's well made, I don't think it was there because of the size. But now you get this hyper orange interior, 2 inside slit pockets. You get that front pocket. You get the very breathable back on the back, and every single bag that comes from Brown Buffalo comes with like its own carrying bag. So I think that's pretty dope. I like this a lot for just those quick days, especially as you're coming up on the winter. This is going to be a good bag to keep under your armpit while you're wearing a big bulky jacket, or keep on your waist while you're wearing a big bulky jacket. You won't even be able to tell that someone is wearing a pouch or anything like that. Finally, Olight got off of their butts and they made the Arc Pro available for order. Now, this is $109. It's more than the price point I told you about. But if you make an account with Olight, which is free to do, this becomes 98 bucks. If you get a different color, the price goes down even more. So this is 98 bucks. But if you get the green color, it's like $89. I like this thing a lot because 1500 lumens, you're getting a laser, you're getting a UV light, and you're getting a white light, white LED. But what I really like about this, it's a unibody design. As much as I like this Nikkor EDC 17, they both have the same features: white LED, UV light, green laser. this is not a unibody design. There's screws all over the place. You know, it's dope, but arguably this this Arc Pro is sexier. Okay, it gives me iPhone in the flashlight world because literally this thing is made out of just one solid piece, except for the back where you access the battery and stuff. But very, very well made. Good texture on the side for you to be able to grip it a little bit easier. And this is also one of those flashlights that you can use. You can turn the light on and you can still use the laser at the same time. So I think that's pretty dope to be able to use both. There's a laser kind of right there over me. And unlike the Arc Felt Pro, which is its predecessor, this one uses the proprietary charger by Olight or USB-C charging. So finally, my biggest complaint about the Arc Felt series is being tied down to their charging system. Sometimes you're in your truck or your car, you don't have their effing charging system with you. So that's dope. The pocket clip is really good. It's reversible, so you can wear it on a hat or whatever. And I think this is just really well made. Very, very good, well made for the Olight. Finally made that available. Mine is engraved. You can engrave it. I have Marine X on mine, but you can engrave it if you want to. I think it's like $5 to do one of their engravings, or you can contact Olight and get your own design if they're able to do it. I did mine myself, but very, very dope. Now, if you're going to you probably got a fella who once again likes to keep stuff charged. I've already showed you the bigger battery bank, but the Nikkor Gen 3 Ultra Slim Power Bank, this is the smallest 10,000 milliamp hour power bank on the market. Carbon fiber, 2 USB-C ports, it has a battery indicator, lets you know how charged it is on the top, and it's very easy to use. It's super slim, meaning that you're going to be able to put this basically in most pouches or pockets. It's the size of a 5,000 milliamp hour charger, but it's 10,000 milliamp hours. So it's, pretty useful. So you can get this, pair it with one of your favorite charging cables, keep this to keep stuff charged. Not a lot to say about that other than they just recently dropped the price. So I wanted to show that to you as well. Leatherman actually has a few of their items on sale, which is not very common. Okay, first one I got to talk about is this is, I believe, a great starter multi-tool to figure out if you like a multi-tool. Okay, normally $69. Right now, this is $55. This is the Leatherman Wingman. This does have spring action pliers, so you have to be okay with that. Some people don't like spring action where it's always open until you put force onto the scales themselves. So you have to think about that. The wire cutters are not replaceable. Okay. And it does have a pretty decent tool set. So it has the Phillips here, and you have a slotted, you have a box opener, you have a ruler, as well as a file with a pry bar mix, and you have a can opener, bottle cap lifter combo with a wire stripper. Okay. And this bad boy has a knife with serrated edges. So it's going to be good for cutting rope and stuff like that, as well as a pair of scissors. Now, the best scissors on the market from Leatherman? No, it's not necessarily, but they work well. Make sure you open them all the way. They're scissors, good for cutting tissue paper, aluminium, just things that aren't really suited for a knife, zip ties, stuff like that. I think it's a pretty good tool if you're okay with the spring-loaded action. But also, you can also take a look because they also have the Leatherman Curl below $100. This is basically like a stripped down wave, but a bumped up bond. So this is like the sweet spot when it comes to Leatherman's multi-tools below $100. Okay, you're gonna get a knife. You're also going to get their fantastic wood and metal file. Those are the only two outboard tools. This is the difference between this and something like the Wave, okay, which would be the upgrade for this. Now, also, you're going to get the pliers. They don't have replaceable wire cutters, okay? But you do get a ruler right here on both sides, centimeters and inches, and you get a pretty good tool set. So you get an awl with a sewing hole, you get a pry bar, and a slotted screwdriver. You get a pair of scissors, so you can use those if you need to, as well as their wire stripper, can opener, bottle cap lifter combo. Okay. So if you don't need the features of the Wave Plus, you don't care about, you rarely use your wire cutters, you're not going to let this thing sit outside and rust or anything like that, then you don't really need to spend the extra money on the Wave Plus. That's going to cost you $116. You can kind of look at stuff like the 300M or the 300 or the rebar. But if you're looking for more of a traditional Leatherman that gives the Leatherman look, then this is going to be the way to go. I stripped mine down and got rid of the pocket clip. It does come with a pocket clip, but I took mine off. This is the Everyday Sling by Vertex. Recently came out, very discreet. If you're looking for a, literally you're looking for a off-body CCW bag, this is probably one of the most discreet looking on the market. It's not very tactical looking. It has their very small quick action opening so that you can quickly open this. It has a little lockable zippers right here where you can put a TSA lock through this bad boy and lock where the weapon is. It has a frontward pocket where you can put any items you need. The front pocket has a little bit of organization, 2 slip pockets, as well as a key leash inside of this so you can keep your keys inside. But the thing I like about this most is that it comes with a holster. So you can fit subcompacts, full-size weapons. Most of them work just fine in this bad boy with no issues whatsoever. So you can load this out as you see fit. The full back of this is loop paneling, so you can use this. And I like, if you don't need one this big, you can get the smaller size, especially if you're rocking like a smaller revolver or a subcompact or whatever. Very, very good to go in this bad boy. $65 plus the discount I can get you. I think that's a very good price point. And so if you're not a big fan of stuff Evenly Stock is doing or other stuff that is made by Vertex because they're too tactical looking, I think that one's going to be very, very good to go. Now, your fella, okay, let me show you something else that he may not have. Now, I just showed you, if you have a bag that has loop paneling, okay? Loop paneling is Velcro, okay? That's where we got this Faraday bag, right? Because it has loop panel on the back. But if he doesn't have a bag with loop panel, that's useless. So, another option for you is going to be the Field Pocket by GoRuck. Now, this specific item, what I like about this bad boy is that it is very, very compact. It's big enough to feel like a camera inside. I'm not taking mine off my loop panel because it is a little bit an effort to get it on and off because it has 4 very big loop strips on it. But you don't have to put it on the loop panel. You could just throw it in a bag, but it has a lot of storage, zipper pockets, dual zipper pockets. I have my mosquito repellent in here. You can put like a full-size camera and a lens inside of this bad boy. Very well made, good zippers, and GoRuck has been slowly dropping the price on this Field Pocket. I got mine for like $45 on a sale recently. The price went back up a little bit, but it's still below $100. So I think it's great. I think that if you have a bag that is Molly instead of the loop panel, that's going to be a great organization option for you. Or if you just want to be able to have it, keep the straps tucked and just throw in and out of bags, it works for that as well. Let's talk about some American-made organization for your keys. This is the jam that I really am a big fan of. This is the Key Bar key organizer, made in America. Now, they have a lot of different options for these key organizers. I have one that's titanium with brass inlays. Fantastic, but just costs a lot. It's like a little bit south of $200, right? But they also make them in G10. This is what they look like when they're taken apart. G10, same concept. This one's going to cost you, usually you can find them around $59, if not cheaper than that. But the thing that makes people like Key Bar so much are the accessories that you could add to your loadout. So say, for instance, I wanted to add a slotted screwdriver to my keys. I could do that. Can opener to my keys. I can do that. Or a bottle cap lifter or a razor blade. There's so many different accessories that Key Bar makes. Everything made in the USA, proudly. You can even add like a Magna Cut blade if you feel like spending the money on the bad boy. I like this. I like the fact it's so modular. And it really does keep my keys from jangling. If you got a dude that has keys that make a lot of freaking noise, this currently has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 keys in here right now. Nine keys in here right now. No noise. House key, key to my tonneau cover, key to a gun lock for inside of my vehicle, key to my storage unit, plenty of stuff, okay? So big old fan of Key Bar. Love the fact that it's made in America. Now let's talk about my favorite way to tech organization. I'll link up the video I did for this bad boy. This is the Orbit Key 2-in-1 tech pouch. And it's 2-in-1 because not only you get a tech pouch that stands up on its own, so you can keep this on a desk or something like that, but you also get this little caddy. I don't know what they call it, but you get this smaller pouch, which if you get to, say for instance, you want to leave that big ass pouch in your bag and just take this out, this also stands up on its own and you can use it on your desk at work or whatever. I love this organization. So if you got somebody, a guy that travels to and from work and he wants to organize his tech stuff, this just recently came out. I featured this in the video. I love this pouch, man. It has a pass-through charging so that you can actually pass a cable from this front pouch through a hole in the inside of here. You can charge a device while it's inside of this. It's well made, great zippers. It's Australian design. Orbit Key's an Australian company. I think they make this in China or wherever the hell they make it, but it's a very good design. The biggest thing is if you keep this pouch inside of a bag, you can grab it from 3 different ways: the top, the sides, okay? So that way, some of its competitors, you can't grab it from multiple ways like that. So I'm a big fan of that as well. And then finally, we have got to talk about the Eberly Stock Fade Flex. Now, this is a great sling bag that is also ready to carry your weapons, okay? So you can get, have a holster here by Vertex. It comes with a smaller holster, which is actually kind of almost useless, except for unless you got a good sized barrel, you can afford maybe a 4-inch barrel you can run down there or whatever. But it's double loop handling. That's why I wanted to show you this, is because this is going to be better for magazines in the weapon itself, or the weapon and magazines, or whatever accessories you want to do. And it's an additional pocket on this bad boy. And this is still south of $100. A lot of organization in this front area. And then you get just a discreet pocket in the back to keep the extra cordage of this sling bag, which I think makes it great. It works as a fanny. It works as a sling. Very, very good design on this bad boy. That is the gift guide for $50 to $100. I'm probably missing something, but these are the things I've been fucking with in that price point. And if I didn't have any of this and you gifted it to me, you would have a direct key to my heart. First time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.